There's old Dennis Waterman. Hope y'all are doing fine. Rob Smith here. So I catch up YouTube to whatever it is I'm doing. I'm going to have to go over to videos. And I'm quickly looking for. And I used yesterday. I was going to chat. Yeah, here you are. Cut it up. Ugh. Did I get that out of the scanner? Look around. See. All right, try and get over to videos real quick. What can I share? I got so much. Wait just a moment. I'll find something to share. How about that? Quick as a bunny. Of course, I'm never sure who's here, who's not here. I still can't. I'm still not getting that I'm doing a live. Am I live? Well, pop. It looks like I am. I wish YouTube would set this up differently. Here we go. Here we go. And I thank Kim Allen for subscribing today. That makes 298. A couple more, 300. Here we go. All right. This is a copy. I'll just share one with each real quick. Maybe share the other one tomorrow. I'm going to need to go live tomorrow. I've got a happy birthday to do. I have two things I want to get done today. One is I want to get, but if you notice, if you listened to earlier, I had a much more alive, awake, going. I mean, I'm a little tireder. This is from July 1966. Where were you in 1966 of July? Top of the charts, Neil Sedaka. In fact, I think that's true. Neil Sedaka, who just died a few days ago, I believe. Neil Sedaka had one of his big hits. Was in this time right here. Was his number one of. It wasn't Stupid Cupid. It was another one about summer or something. But yeah, he was a big name back then. You think everybody thinks it was the Beatles and all that. Yes, they were big. I mean, Ken Dodd has number one hit. I think it was this year also, which was Happiness. I think it was 66. He actually bounced the Beatles off the charts. But a lot of people don't know that name. Anyway, enough of that. This is the Florida Wildlife, a copy of the Florida magazine for sports, for all sportsmen. And I believe only sportsmen tune in here, right? Go ahead. If you want in the comments, just start to rack up the various firearms you use to go out hunting hog and turkey and whoever. And you can see this is a perfect hunting scene, out in the water like that. Yeah, all ready to go bring down a giant bald eagle. They look right. They look just like they're ready to do just that. Everyone duck. But this was not unusual. See, look at that tent. Now, you saw that tent today. You probably think that was from today. No, 1966, 60 years ago. And also, where are they today? How's that look? Getting up close. Yeah, where are they today? Are any of them alive? All of them would be, the two ladies would be in their 80s, 90s. The little kid would be, of course, uh, nearly 70 or so. And I wonder if the boat still exists. Anyway, it's very interesting to look at these. There's a wonderful little scene. I wonder if I can say where it is. But one of the things to look for here is what used to God, this used to be done all the time, and that was Sports Illustration. My dear friend Jerry Dowling died a few days ago. I love getting together with Jerry and his wife Geraldine, the two Jerrys, and he was such a great cartoonist. He did not do this kind of work. This is, if I can zoom in here, if you look real close, that's Coquille board. I was doing a little looking at some how to draw um, books yesterday, I think it was, that Kim Allen had given me, and they specifically mention Coquille board. This is a nearly impossible material to find today, but the it is wonderful the texture you could get using to a Coquille board. It was not easy to ink on because it had a lot of bumpty bumps on the paper, much like this fish. So it wasn't easy to draw, and I inked on it before, ain't easy. But these kind of illustrations are just terrific. This is signed WH. I know who that is. I know who WH is, but I can't think. Okay, that's Wallace Hughes. So maybe it's Wallace. That's not who I'm thinking. I think it's somebody else. Maybe it is Wallace Hughes, but I'm thinking somebody else with those initials who signed a lot like that. We had a number of Bill Kitchen was a big sports. He did a lot of things over at the Miami Herald. But that was one of the things. Anyway, there's all kinds of great little illustrations hiding in there. Look at that ink drawing of the turkeys. Very simple. Two turkeys and a sable pond. I mean, that's Florida right there. That's Florida. Nice little drawing. Nice little drawing. You had to know your stuff too. I guarantee you that drawing was probably 5, 6 times what it is shown here. But these little drawings, and of course, this what's great also, if you wanna know history, is to read it from the source and getting a perspective from this would be the perspective of the hunter, the fisher, and so on in Florida. But it can really, be contradictory to what we read in books. Who wants to give you a kind of a certain angle about things, you know? Well, or what a chamber of commerce can give you. They're out to sell something, in this case, bass. Note the figure on top of that. That used to be so very common, billboard, to see that extra piece added. This whole thing was a bit of construction. You had these stakes, these poles in the ground, and you had 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, I got a fan blowing. I should turn that off. That's a good idea. Meant to, or turn around, turn away. There we go. So that so you have 1, 2, 3 boards, and then you got that fish, and then you got the guy on the boat. And connecting it all. What a great thing. And true, so many people came here just to fish, and then really very few. It's amazing how that pop percentage has dropped into the ground. Yeah, here's Highway 17, Crescent Lake and Lake George. That was it. That was the big thing. Anyway, those kind of creative billboards were being done, and you don't see those anymore. In fact, most of the billboards you see are photographs. And there's fishes. I was looking for some more artwork so I can kind of keep the theme going here. No one's put up their guns. I don't understand it. Oh, so and these little things would pop up. Nature notes. The teeth of the rodent group of animals never stop growing. So if you see a squirrel say, grow, baby, grow, right? Get those teeth going. I love these little vignettes, and I've done my share of these. And then, of course, you have the advertisement. Now, this is a little more loosey goosey, no signature given for that big one that didn't get away. Here's where you can, a fishing citation. And this is how you can rattle off the fish you catch. I'm sorry, that's a little harder to show. I'm gonna lose all this. Okay, I just thought I'd share one. I'll maybe share another one. There's another time. I have so much to share. Like that was from the Antiquarian Book Fair I was at this weekend. Okay, first thing I want to illustrate a fellow. I'm going to draw a fairy, but before I draw the fairy, I'm going to draw this fellow. I was I drove from Palm Harbor, south West Florida, South Central Florida, and came back up toward Marion County. Along the way, I made some stops. I wasn't originally going to stop at all, but as traffic eased, I felt better about stopping places, so I did. And one was an Ollie's. and I was stopping at Ollie's specifically to look for something for a friend of mine. In the end, I found much more for other friends, and I picked up a number of my friend Christopher Sinclair over in the Villages. He runs something called there's a Villages comic book club. There is. I know you don't believe it, and I'll try to draw this. I and I found some. He can't get around. He can't go anywhere. He can't drive. He's got a golf cart he can take, but he can't go far with that either. And I stopped at Ollie's. I saw the and when I took him around about a month ago, and I drove around to an Ollie's in Leesburg, and I couldn't believe what he picked up. I mean, he spent a lot of money on comic stuff, and I was really surprised. So when I stopped at this Ollie's in just south of Spring Hill, I I think Christopher might like these. So I gave him a quick call and said, "Hey, Christopher, I found these. Would you like me to pick them up for you?" He wanted me to pick. I picked up a whole stack of stuff for him. Now I got to get over to him, and I picked up something, so a few other things for friends, and not much for me. I picked up one thing for me. I was glad because Christopher can't get it. He's got the money, he can't get it. I want to go ahead and open his mouth. I think. So I stopped, I think, at 3, and then I got to Homosassa, Florida, and I was gonna go ri I didn't know there was an Ollie's there. I was about to make a turn away from it, and I thought, "Ah, I might as well finish up." I'd gone to the other might as well go to the 4th one, so I went to that Ollie's. I'm so glad I did, because this guy was here. His name is Phillip, and we started talking about, I cannot explain why I did not get a bloody photograph with him. I was tired. I was exhausted out of my mind. I hadn't slept for a few days. I really didn't sleep for days, and I actually hadn't slept much in a week. So I wanna post on Facebook, maybe I'll post here too. I'll share. I'm trying to do better about sharing things on this page. And he was in an aisle, had foodstuffs in it. I don't know if I made mention of grits or something. I forget what his shirt was now. God, I didn't get a photograph. I don't think he was more than maybe 5, 6 maybe. What was interesting was he had a typical Florida cracker voice, and I was shocked. Again, I'd started off in Palm Harbor and was down in Homosassa, Florida, near Homosassa Springs, and I was heading to Ocala. So I start talking to him, or he starts talking to me really, because I said, I think he said howdy, and then I said howdy back, and then he just started talking to me, and before we know it, I'm hearing all kinds of interesting things. Turns out that he was born. I got to remember his age. He's 79. He was born 79 years ago in Palm Harbor, Florida. And the stories he told me, he grew up in an orange grove in Palm Harbor, which would you go to Palm Harbor today, you'd have trouble knowing what that is. That arm looks too small. I don't think he was wearing shirt sleeves. I immediately got out my phone and I immediately hit record as he was, because I think the situation his wife has had some surgery and she's rather unable to she can't get around. And it appeared to me as he continued to speak to me that this was a little vacation for him. He got away from things, and he wanted to talk to somebody, so he talked to me, and I'm so glad he did. His stories about growing up in Palm Harbor, how he and his buddies would they go get when he was a kid, 10 years old. He told me locations and all sorts of stuff. He had a cart. Oh, by the way, I mentioned this before. This pencil is from um, Pop Shelf. They're sporadically around. They are the preppy version of Dollar General. This is a Statler pencil. Statler Mars used to be Statler Mars. Now it's a part of a large conglomerate. German, but what I like this is very soft lead. I'd say 4B, and I like this little eraser. Scroll that up and it erases. So you look at all these videos, you almost I don't know how many I might have erased twice. I almost never use pencil either. Now I gotta do a birthday card tomorrow. I think I'll do it around noontime, and I'll also paint this fairy I'm gonna draw. Even though I have no idea what the fairy is gonna look like. I got the pen to ink it over here. But I wanna post about this fellow because I'm afraid I'm gonna forget or something will happen to me, and I think this guy's important. He told me about how he and his pals would get on a boat and chase after the shrimpers who would come out from Palm. Most people in Palm Harbor have no idea why it has the name harbor to it. Well, it was a harbor for fishermen to come in. Oh wow, I had no idea I was going to tie to that magazine. Okay, good. But these were commercial fishermen who'd go out and go get a whole bunch of shrimp. We got a little shrimp here. Many years ago, did a bunch of artwork for Dixie Crossroads over in Titusville. I got to learn how to draw shrimp real good. And they chase after these shrimping boats, and then what would happen is they knew how the shrimper boats work. The shrimp boats would come in, and they pick up, thousands of little shrimp and start to toss them into a big bin to have them then hauled off to sell. And they taught these big giant men would take these fish and they'd all throw them into the bin and throw them into they're just throwing them. So not all of them went into the bin. And some of the shrimp would fall off the bin and onto the dock or into the water. Well, the 2 or 3 boys, little boy I think there were 3 boys in the boat would then chase after the shrimp, grab them real quick, and put them all in a middle. He told me about this tin bucket they had, and they'd fill the tin bucket, maybe they'd fill another one. Now, here's interesting. You have these wonderful She was telling me that some of the shrimp were little, well, some shrimp were huge. Now you and I today would wanna cook those shrimp and have them for dinner, not them. These shrimp to them was how they were going to get their fish for the day. So they take those shrimp, go out in the water, stick them on some string and put it out in the water and go catch themselves some fish with those extra shrimp. Isn't that neat? Imagine the boys doing that today. Not me. So this is Philip. All I know is his first name. I'm sorry, I was so tired I wasn't paying attention enough to get his full name. But he told me a lot of stories. He told me a lot of stories in a short time. Okay, this is what I did. I penciled this yesterday, and I painted it this afternoon. And I want to do some more. I'm going to do a fairy here, though I don't really know what I'm going to do. So, and if you want to put a comment in there, please do. And if you want to click the thumbs up if you like any of this, and you may not. I know what I'm looking for here. Oh, I know where I put it. It's right here. Let's see. I should have opened all of these. I didn't think about it till now. All right, so I got that over there, and I want this. Now, something I mentioned is that and when we get to Mermaid, I have no idea what my status in life is going to be when I get to Mermaid. To May, I have no idea. It's my birthday actually is less than 2 months from now. I just hope it's not as bad as last time. That was just the one I was looking for. Well, I'll make it work. Okay, let me just put that over there, and then I'm going to do that. Okay, now let me go ahead and draw a fairy. Isn't that great that Philip was running around and carrying those stories? And what I'm really hoping I live long enough to do is to do a little book of stories, of Florida stories. I've collected lots and lots of them, and Philip gave me another one. I think about 6 months ago, I got one that was not water related. Otherwise, all are water related to one degree or another. I am referencing a face here, and this much like Mermaid. Yeah. You need to, or else you start drawing the same face over and over and over again, and usually that face looks a little bit like you. It does, it really does. And yes, this is not my typical now on if I do a live Sunday, and I believe that's the plan, I'll do that live, make it up as I go. This is not one of those. I love this to be something I do a lot of, but I don't know if I'll be able to do this 2-day kind of thing or not. That nose is way too low. Had a friend critiquing a recent coloring comic book I did. It was much needed words I needed to hear. I often wonder what the heck I'm doing sometimes, if it's even worth value of any kind. Because definitely one thing's true about drawing, we're pretty much on our own. I am fortunate that I've been a caricaturist, and then you get a reaction immediately. I've I've pretty much always gotten good reaction. I don't mean to sound where I'm reacting bad these days are the folks that I try to draw and have nothing to say about themselves or their lives, and which is why I'm not doing it much. Plan is I will be doing it on May 2nd for my old friends, Dr. Steve Brooks. That's only because it's Dr. Steve Brooks, so I'll do it. Been asked to do something coming up in summer or something. Don't think I'll be doing that. But I'm giving a pretty high price because I just if I've got to try to deal with people who don't have much to say, and I work off of that. Now, the face I'm drawing really isn't the face I'm looking at right now, but just it's more of a guiding thing. So I try to draw a structure a little differently than I might have otherwise. 'Cause I might have drawn the same sort of structure over and over. So his eyes are a little bigger. And I'm not seeing if anyone's typing anything. No? Okay. Well, anyone who's watching, thank you. I'm going to click the thumbs up just because I sure like to get to 300. So if you know anyone who's doing YouTube and would like to help me out, I appreciate it. Little thumbs up or joining or subscribing. Get to 300. Of course, I'll be doing lots of mermaids and mermaid. And I'll probably do as I did last year, most of them here. The years before I've been doing on Facebook. I don't think I ended up doing many last year for some reason. Now that I think about it. Again, I don't know where this is going. Always try to as I say, Neil Adams, the comic book artist, is the greatest influence to me, and I always try to make sure I think about that dimensions. So having something coming out at you, even some fingers and a hand. Now, why is that happening? I don't know. And what's going to happen to this drawing? I don't know. Something happened at the book fair where I started thinking I really need to be trying to actually. Something I'll be doing Friday kind of connects to something at the book fair. Kind of got me thinking I need to be doing more of this. Hopefully that arm. Let me just check myself here. The other thing, I'll make sure I'm making basically the fin is the leg. Make sure I make that the same size. Now tomorrow, I'll noontime. I got a birthday card due for my friend Henry Munoz, who is not here. Right. I don't think he uses YouTube. Get a birthday card for him last year. Wow, I remember that was a last second thing. I was in the midst of moving and all sorts of things were going on, and I don't know how the heck I did it somehow. Okay, I think that what could be under the sea? This fellows she's encountering, I wonder. Oh, that's right, I wasn't doing a mermaid, I was gonna do a fairy. I'll just go along with this, how about that? I'll do a fairy tomorrow. It's like, last 2 months, the 1st of the month, rabbit, rabbit. February and March 1st, I did not draw a rabbit. I did a special broadcast just because it's rabbit, rabbit, and I don't draw a rabbit. Maybe I'll draw a rabbit here too sometime. Make sure we get there. So doing these, so I'm gonna have to cut these, much like this. I did this, but really I'm gonna cut these ends off. So I could have done this tall. I can't do it taller because of the screen here. I gotta do it wide. I could have made that turtle now that I think about it. Put some grasses in here. That's what I'll do. Right, let's add some ink to this. How are we doing time wise? Well, let's take about a half hour doing this much. Well, my plan is to do Henry Munoz's picture tomorrow at noon, but also painting this. Er, I'm just gonna check that real quick in case someone isn't tuned in here. All right. I'll show the hairs. The hair's kind of there, but it's also floating about. It was amazing how much energy I had at noontime and what I don't have now. Really done all that much. But trying to, I meant to draw Phillip yesterday, Tuesday, whenever that was. A little messed up with time because of being in Palm Bay or Palm Harbor, or one of those palms. Yeah, Palm Harbor today along US 19, and except for the downtown area, is all just chain restaurants, roads, cars, a lot of noise. Beep beep, honk honk. And talking to Philip was refreshing, and I think also he, beyond getting away from his wife for a bit, he liked to reminisce with someone who appreciated, and I really appreciated his stories. Hope that's not a gang symbol. Looks like a peace sign, but I happen to know that she's in the 46th Aero Squadron. Just took out Hitler's brother's son. Yeah, this is circa 1943. Just make this stuff up. Who cares? I was making it about Philip, though. Philip's a real. I now even more wish I had a photograph. Now he made it all up. No, I did. I was just really tired, and I can't believe I didn't fall asleep while he was talking to me. So tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, I'm not sure where I'm going to be Friday. I may not be back in time to do a live on Friday evening. Gonna go to a book sale for one reason is why I'm doing these paintings. I tell you one thing, after Mermaid, you get by the end of May, you're ready to done. You're done drawing mermaids for a while. Only so many things you can do. That's also the month. May's really a month where I really start to lose energy. It's getting hot consistently, and the state's getting very uncomfortable for me as a cracker, Florida cracker native. I'm the only one probably. I've run into a couple other natives who aren't much for the heat, but there aren't many. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll even be able to do any of these. Not sure where I'm going to exactly be yet. I was hoping maybe I might go out to Pensacola, but I just learned that is not going to be an option as of now. There are those who'd like that to happen, but right now it's not going to happen. I could still change this. Why don't I? I make it more interesting, and I could fill up more space. Ooh, I made it look a little mean. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I need more reason to think. Anyone, if you put a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. Anyone who wants to subscribe, love to get to 300. Amazing how long I've had this channel and really done nothing with it till this past year. Most everything was at Facebook till I got hacked to death and I lost all my pages. Well, in the end, I am drawing something without pencils. I'm drawing weird. Heck, I think I'm gonna go back over this a little bit too. If I make over this with another color tomorrow after I paint it, so I'll probably do I'll do tomorrow. So I'll pencil thing for Henry, and then I'll go and paint it, then paint this. Uh, Watch me not do that, but that's what occurs to me. And I should promote my Gopher Tortoise book over at Amazon, Swampy's, Florida. Learn all about the Gopher Tortoise. Such a important critter here in Florida. It's a cartoon coloring educational book. Maybe we'll put a fishy here. I mean, we'll put a couple fishies in here. I don't know. Thank you all for watching. Hope this makes sense. Of course, I'm making this much more complicated color tomorrow. I'm coloring with a little different technique that I haven't used before, and it's kind of coloring like it's not like it's paint, but it's more like it's colored pencil. Don't get too much detail in here. Details here. I'm gonna add some other things when I do the color part of this. Make sure I sign it. I do not know what the fate of this is going to be in the end. I don't know where this is going to go, but I'll start doing some of these. I have ideas. Always having ideas. I want to try that painting technique, and it works pretty good. Try it again tomorrow. Not sure how much I'll use that for Henry's birthday card. Well, I'll add bubbles, but I'll do that otherwise. I think he's looking like he's floating. I just want to add a little bit that this is. Go let that sit there. And I had an eraser yesterday. Here I do. I still have it here. It's a very soft pencil, so it smears and smudges really good. I was carrying an ebony pencil with me at the antiquarian book fair this weekend. Really want to do some drawing with it, but I better not make a smeary, smudgy mess. Uh-oh, I didn't draw the bottom of her mouth. She just has buck teeth. She talks like this. Find a pen. Heaven's sakes. Think I'm doing it. Poor lady. Poor girl. Um, there we go. How's that? Turn a fish into a turtle. And this is all water. This pen is waterproof. grateful to say. Oh, and as I've said, this is a SEPA, and it's a SB56. As you can see by the symbols, it's Japanese, I believe. And there's more of the same. I got these from Temu. I needed some pens a little over a year ago, maybe a little more than that, a year and a half ago. And I needed some pens that had much money, and that was the place to go. And I did, and I got these, and I like these a lot. These are very similar to ones I've gotten from Jet Pens that have cost me $4 to $7 each. Uh, and I can get a pack of three of different sizes. It's a 6, 7, and 8, and really can't do much with 7 and 8 unless they're doing something big. But for little things like this 6 is great, and certainly for a buck, I think it's a buck 50 or buck 30 for the 3 of them, well worth it. The problem is I can't find them again. Temu has this weird thing because they just get things and it comes and goes. But one of the brushes I liked, brush pens I liked a lot on Jet Pens is gone. That was a $7 one, I think. That was really good. Friend Jeff Parker pointed that out because he uses it for some of his work. It's comic strip work. You're racing, good idea to turn it upside down to see if you're missing some pencil lines. There's a lot more than that. One of the good people I drew yesterday. I will do a fairy tomorrow. If I do a fairy tomorrow, I should be able to. Now I won't be able to paint it on Friday. Well, I'll do the painting on tomorrow afternoon. Then at night, if I do something, pencil and ink, I won't be able to paint it though Friday. Might try to do the whole thing tomorrow night. Just trying to make my. Also, I'm trying to get more hours here on YouTube. That's something else came up this weekend. Need to put more time here. Behooves me, as they say. That looks okay. Please let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. So, adding watercolor tomorrow here, and it's 44 after. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the plug. Um, I guess I could. Well, no, I can't. I need some more of this watercolor paper, and I know where it is, but I can't get to it without doing some severe digging, which I can't do right now. So I'll have to do it later. But at least I'm on my way, and I will probably do what I did with. I lost it already. I went back over this and used some brown and some purple lining outlines, which you can kind of see. Just to, again, I'm kind of experimenting with it. It also looks a bit different. This I don't know if it does look different. I need someone who knows my work better to tell me that. One thing I might do. Oh, maybe a sheet that I have badly damaged. I was going to do Henry's card. I thought. So, yeah, they have the paper for it here. Because this is a watercolor paper. Okay, that's for another time. Anyway, I got Philip. I'm gonna be posting this on Facebook. I guess I could ink it. What the hey, I'm here. Might as well try to go toward 8. If I use that his story in my little swampy book, if I ever do the swampy book, hope I can get him a copy. He lives apparently right down the street from that Ollie's I was stopped at. But I didn't see that he checked out when I did too. And that didn't seem the checkout lady recognized him. But she's probably that's unusual. Folks don't pay enough attention to what's around them anymore. I should. That's how I got to talk to him. And he was telling me how he was in the Army, and he was wearing an Army hat with him. So he just drove down the street to Ollie's from his wife who's suffering. He put on his US Army hat, so he was looking for some attention, likely. Certainly, the way he acted around me, he was glad to have someone to talk to about something. His hat actually looked a little too big for him. I made it the other way around. Maybe I made that chin too big too. I think he Yeah, because 'cause I'm pretty sure he was very long sleeves. I don't remember seeing his arms. Yeah, we're gonna do a little birthday celebration for Henry on Friday morning around 11. Then I gotta run over to, my little storage area, Sam's Club. Did not draw that wrong. I'm going to just there we go. Can't remember if he had pockets. Can't remember how this car worked. I'll try to get a picture with me and Henry in that card when I get it done on Friday. I did last year when I gave him one. Cannot remember where I did the card because I know I wasn't in any spot to do it. Oh, there we go. And this is I don't even know if it's 2 L's or not. I'll take a chance that it is. There you go. Look, there I go with that all on the side of my hand. Go ahead and erase it too. And this is a typical Pentel eraser. I think it's a pack of I think I got this at Dollar Tree. I remember I bought these because I was somewhere and I needed an eraser. I didn't have any with me. So I picked this up. Wow, that looks pretty lightweight. Look at that, it finally inked. Although I need to touch that up a little bit. And I'll be done before 8. His story of his birth in the house he was born in Palm Harbor is much like my friend BJ West, who was also born in the house in an or but now, Phillip said he wasn't right in the orange grove. There was another house in between him and the orange grove. but that's probably as close as BJ said her house was in an orange grove back in 1939. Of course, he is 79 years old, so just a bit after BJ he was born. He didn't have a lot that happened in his life. That was interesting too. He's most proud of being in the army because his personal life wasn't the best. It wasn't awful. It's just that he seemed like I think he said he went from job to job to job, and it was sad because his father worked in the. Well, I need to go back and listen to those tapes. I'm forgetting exactly what his father did. Close enough, and that's not a great drawing. That can be a problem when you pencil and ink, is that as you ink, forget, you miss some things. I'm so used to inking without pencil these days that I didn't think about it. Oh well. But I'll post this on Facebook in a little bit about Phillip. I don't remember what their cards are. Go to four ollies and I don't remember what their cards are. I shared earlier today why I was actually first going in there. I was looking for something in particular, and I found it. I don't remember if I found the first one, second one, third one, or fourth one. It wasn't the fourth one. Maybe it was. I don't remember now. All right, I'm gonna get scooting here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being a part of things here. If you want, put a thumbs up in there. I appreciate that. I should be back tomorrow around noontime to do two watercolor, not fill up. Want to keep that black and white. I'll go back and watercolor the whatever I did with the I've already lost the oh it's right over here. Never find it. Watercolor this and we'll do Henry's card. Thank you for watching. Have a great night and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.